Hey, it's Joel Olson coming at you with another variable rate mortgage. We are on the eve of a Bank of Canada rate change. As I'm doing this video, I do not know what the results of that rate change is going to be. I don't know which way it's going to go. So, we'll have a quick follow-up video to that in regards. But if you're watching this, week of July 11th, 2023, the deal here right now is that no matter what anybody tells you, you read an article, your banker, your uncle that you think is really smart about finances, nobody has a definitive idea what's going on. When people email and go, hey, I heard rates are going up, we don't know that in any length of certainty. We don't know that. And when the Bank of Canada moves rates, they're making that decision rashly and at the last second. There is no further proof of that than the bond market. The bond market reacts to the reality of rates going up and down, which that has an effect on fixed rates actually. But the volatility of that and the wild swings indicate that they do not know what is happening. Historically, what we often see is that a very clear direction they're going. And admittedly, I think they often leak it. So I think that lots of these markets are pretty clear on what's going to happen. But what we see today is that's not the case. 24 of 28 economists in the month of June predicted no rate change. So very, very different world we live in. I think the likelihood is that we will probably wake up with a 0.25% increase tomorrow. But who knows? I won't be surprised if there's nothing. I won't be surprised if there's more. So we have to plan for all eventualities. We do not know what's going to happen. This has meaningfully changed things. We know what's going to happen. And if you were to go back to some of my historical videos, we don't expect the Bank of Canada when they can actually control those. It's like if people don't have control over decisions, that's a different conversation. But if you're driving the car, I don't expect people to willfully drive it over the edge, okay? And that's what's happening. CPI, Consumer Price Index, plunging, inflation plunging. Market, not what it was during COVID days. And hey, look, the problem with the housing market is the oversupply does not relate to just, there's so much dynamics to it. We are trying to achieve 400,000 immigrants without creating more supply. If you think about our clients in BC, ALR takes up 40% of all land, and so we don't have a lot of land for people to move into. We have the greatest wealth transfer of any generation as baby boomers retire, have fully income houses and transfer to their kids. There is a lot going on here. There's a lot going on here that cannot be fixed by any rate changes. Okay, so that's another video. What are we going to do with a 0.25% rate increase, or let's just say it's a 0.5% rate increase? That's not on, doesn't look to be on the table at all, but 0.25% increase. That's going to be the same as your January increase and your increase in June. The question here, and this is so important, you do not outrun rate increases. When a client says to me, should I lock into a fixed rate for, these are not the most relevant questions. If a 5 and 6% interest rate is something that you are finding strangles you, these are your options. Is my income going to increase? And by increasing my income, will that make this payment sustainable? Is my expenses going to decrease? Will that then make this payment sustainable? If not, I need to deleverage. Deleverage means putting a incredible prepayment on my mortgage. $100,000, $200,000. If you had money that was, not in RSP or registered funds, that'd be worth it to have a conversation putting that on your mortgage. If you had if those things are not an option, it is worthwhile to think about downsizing your house. I know those are not nice things and those seem frustrating, but these are the reality of what we live in today. As far as rates moving up, yes, look, you could go to a fixed rate. Why is my position softening on this? Well, is that one big reason that I worry about people going to fixed rates is the ability to refinance. But as the qualifying rate has unexpectedly changed so massively, we don't find people are qualifying for money. So refinancing is not really on the table, nor is upgrading in homes. So I have a huge caveat on this, that if you go to a fixed rate, you still are going to have a major penalty. And if you come to me upset about this, I pre-warned you that this is part of the reality of locking into a fixed rate. But that being said, fixed rates remain about a 100 basis points or 1% lower than a variable rate. You can lock in and it will give you some stability. Now, to all the naysayers that call sometimes and go, you know what, oh, gee, if I got a fixed rate 5 years, I'll be better off. You'll still eventually come into these rates, but also running some analysis that are very curious with where predictions are, which still, like I said at the beginning of the video, means nothing. Did a client taking a variable, moving to a fixed rate now, will they be better off? All these are things that are part of the conversation. You're moving to a fixed rate right now because you are doing to achieve two things. Financial peace, where you just know for certain that's what it is, and that's the end game, and that's what it's going to be. Look, if you feel, frustrated, you think, oh, I could have had a 1.7 interest rate, you would have had to pay this 5% at some point, somehow. There's still some interest rates out there for fixed rates in some situations for high 4% kind of ratio. Now, if you have a mortgage with a big bank or a credit union, it is likely we could move you to a different lender for your fixed rate and save you money. It's also a good idea to clean up any residual expenses. And I'm talking about debt. If I'm making a big car payment, I'm making a credit line or a credit card payment. Some people have these car payments and you're looking at the interest rate and you're going, the interest rate's low and I don't know if I want to put it in there. Like, you have to think about payments. Is the moving the payments over and cash flow going to be better for you? So let's move that over, lock into a fixed rate, away you go. If for that scenario, I still think there's a valid case to be made on keeping the variable. I'm keeping a variable. The reason I'm keeping it is because it provides the flexibility, but I have flexible income and I'm prepared. If it means that I have to work a little bit harder to make the payment, I'm going to do that. I'm not judging people that don't do that, but that is how I look at it right now. Anyway, if we can help you with anything, please let me know. If this video is helpful for any of your friends, please share with you. We can't change or control the market, but we can certainly deal with what's being thrown at us and try to make a better strategy as we go along. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you soon.